Good morning. Welcome back to Satterwhite Live on this fine Thursday morning or lunch? Midday. I'm Blake Linton alongside Josh Thomas, and we are here today to talk to you about fake news in the log home industry. What does that mean to you?
Well, really, it means the misconceptions. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
and people who have had hard situations that put a sour taste in their mouth, which you can appreciate.
Well, and that's the kind of stuff that travels word of mouth faster than anything. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we have people come in the office, sit down, and say, "Well, we heard from I got a cousin who's got an uncle who said that he would never live in a log home," and all these misconceptions that get spread around about log homes. And today we're going to try to dispel some of those myths.
Well, the good thing about us, the experience that we've got, is we've learned the hard way on all this stuff.
We've made tons of mistakes, but the good thing is we made those mistakes 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've learned to correct those. Josh, let's get our statement of beliefs out of the way, and then we'll dive right in.
Definitely. We at Satterwhite Log Homes are Christians. We're not ashamed of our faith.
Sorry.
That's okay. We kneel to God only and no man. We love America. We stand proudly for the pledge and for our national anthem. We're proud of our flag, our military, our first responders, and our law enforcement. We revere our founding fathers and our Constitution, and we'll fight to the death for our families, our country, and most of all, our God.
Absolutely. Thank you, Josh. Like we said earlier, here at Satterwhite, we've made plenty of mistakes, but the good news is we've made those mistakes years ago. So
the one thing that we would hope to convey to you guys is learn from us.
Absolutely. Take our years of experience. You know, we don't do everything perfect, but when we do mess up, we learn from it and we correct that mistake going forward. So in a recent YouTube video we saw, you know, there's people out there that have their own opinions of log homes. And
well, he's had a bad run.
Yeah.
You know, this particular guy has a log home, and it goes against almost everything that we've learned over the years. Now, and it happens to people because they see some land, or they've got a view or whatever, and they see this log house, and they don't know what they don't know about log houses.
Yeah, that's true. You know, the first point the guy brought up was log homes are much more maintenance intensive than a normal house. You know what? That could be true. It depends on how you build it. Here at Satterwhite, we require you to put a front porch and a back porch on any of our homes.
At the minimum.
At the minimum. We recommend porches all the way around the house.
I'm going to tell everybody, I say the same thing to everybody that walks through the door. I don't care if you build a 1,000 square foot house or a 10,000 square foot house. The only thing I'm going to try to talk you into is a wraparound porch.
Absolutely.
Because that's the difference between a customer in 10, 15, 20 years who's tickled to death with their log house, who everybody, you know, who's our best.
I'll cut to the chase. Me personally, I would not live in a log home unless it had wraparound porches. I just wouldn't do it. And the reason being, with wraparound porches, all those log walls that are covered by porches, you take the maintenance out of it. The sun, the wind, the rain, the snow.
The cracks.
None of that can get to the log wall, so there's no degrading the log wall. So,
that's right.
You know, and I'll stand behind that. I've been here long enough to know that without porches, you are in for an experience. Look at this picture right here. Okay, so you've got no porches on any of the house. So every bit of the house, the log walls and the log siding above, they're all susceptible. If you have a crack in the log, that's a way for water to get in. Snow, any of that kind of stuff. So on this house we're looking at right now, man, you're a sitting duck.
It's going to be a maintenance nightmare because of the exposure.
Absolutely.
You know, you are not going to find a design that we have that looks anything like this.
And I don't care if you're talking about a log house or any kind of house that's made out of wood. If you designed it like this, you're going to have problems. Look at the overhangs. There are no overhangs. Our overhangs in our houses are a minimum. Our standard is 3 foot. So this house has no overhangs. So you're just putting yourself out there to have problems.
Yeah, no porches. Exposed logs, you know, some of the points that people make or you know, that you hear are the cracks. You know, the cracks can get water. Well, if you don't have anything covering them,
that's a perfect entry point for water.
Exactly.
Every log is going to have a crack in it. That is evidence that the log is dry. So The cracks that we worry about are upward-facing cracks that can catch water or snow melt. That's the perfect freeway for water to get into the log and cause rot later in the future. Or later in the future. That makes a lot of sense.
Back to the future.
You know, so again, if you had a log wall that had tons of upward-facing cracks with a porch, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not going to hurt you. So
let's dissect this house on how it could be better. How about that?
Let's do it.
A wraparound porch around the first floor. So you've basically just completely taken the bulk of maintenance. Now you're still going to have to you're going to have to hit a clear coat on those logs every 10 to 15 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's no different than maintenance on a regular house.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But so now you've completely taken all the problems that this house would have had on the first floor. That is completely gone. Okay.
Right.
So moving up to the second floor.
Add some overhangs. This house doesn't have any overhangs. With a 3-foot overhang, you are drastically improving the
duration, the lifespan of that clear sealer on your logs.
Right, of that log siding above. So, you know, yes, log siding on a gable end is going to have more maintenance than the covered porch below. Mm-hmm. We get that. Mm-hmm. But with a 3-foot overhang, you're covering a lot of those problems already. So
yeah, and you don't want to have a wood house or a log house, you know, whatever, with a full 2-story like that. That's just a poor design.
Absolutely. So, you know, some of the points that these people bring up are log houses are expensive to own because of this, that you're always having to recoat them. Not if you design the house correctly. Mm-hmm. That's not true. Mm-hmm. That is simply not true. Mm-hmm. Insurance costs. They say, oh man, I heard from my brother's uncle that insurance, you can't get insurance on a log home. Mm-hmm. Again, that's not true. We have an excellent insurance contact here that we work with all the time. His name is Fred Roberts.
That's out of the Texas office.
Yeah. Fred covers all the states that we build in.
Okay.
And he also works with our Utah office and our Georgia office. I know you didn't know that, but I'm here.
I was ignorant of that.
Yeah, you're not anymore.
I'm not anymore. I've been taught.
There's nothing more that I like than teaching Josh new things. That's for sure.
Another thing that some people worry about are, you know, a log home is more susceptible to fire. I think we would argue the opposite. Because
of what? Facts?
Yeah. Yeah. So the easiest way that makes people understand is that in a bonfire, you know, if you're burning bush or if you got a wildfire in the forest, you know, whatever the case may be, all the small stuff, you know, twigs, grass, all those types of things are going to burn up first. Your biggest trees, your biggest logs are going to be the last to burn.
Absolutely.
So just like that example in a house, if you've got a brick veneer house or a siding house or any of those things that not only has air channels, you know, for the...
Well, in a frame wall, you have to have air to have fire. We all know that. So if you took a torch and you took it and turned it onto a log wall, it's going to catch fire, but it's going to smolder slowly. If you take a frame wall, wood exterior, and you've got air in between those studs, that air is going to fuel the fire, and it's going to burn tremendously faster.
Work as a flue to circulate that through there. Not only that, it's going to circulate faster, but there's less raw material, so it's going to burn faster. You know what I mean? A log wall is going to take, you know, when you wake up the next morning after a campfire, your biggest logs are probably still have remnants there. They're going to take the longest to burn.
Absolutely, that's correct. So that kind of flies right in the face of what some of these people are saying. So, guys, we know that you hear stuff all the time. All we're asking for you to do when you hear something that disparages log home ownership or maintenance or the cost of a log home, just call us and we'll give you the truth and we can back it up with facts and evidence.
Yeah, we're not here to tell you that people haven't had these experiences, okay? People have had these experiences.
They have had those experiences because the house hasn't been designed properly.
Or with the proper materials.
And the proper materials.
That's right.
We've been here for too long. We've made mistakes and we've learned over time, and we know how now to design these houses to be much more energy efficient, more maintenance friendly, and we want to share that information with you if you give us the chance.
Lower cost of ownership overall.